Great to see you. I hope your day has started well. We've got a few moments to dig into the Word of God here. I have a thought I'd like to share with you that I hope encourages you. I'm John Bradshaw from It Is Written, and I don't mind saying that really I was doomed. I think I was. I don't know how it could have turned out differently. I was raised by a father who loved horse racing, just loved it. And he bet or gambled on horses with great frequency. He never wagered large sums of money. I'm pretty certain there were times he'd like to have back all the money that he wasted on racehorses, but it was kind of like his hobby, and we never did without. He kept us spending to a minimum because he didn't have much to spend anyway. But along I come. So my dad loves racehorses. He's always listening to the horse races on the radio. He was in a little betting syndicate with some of his friends. I would be the courier sometimes, taking the picks or delivering the money or whatever the case might be. I was just kind of steeped in it. On my mother's side, my mother's parents were horse owners, and my mother's brother, my uncle, was a horse trainer, and he owned and trained some pretty good horses in his time. Now, you can't help but love horses. What magnificent animals. Sure they are. And then you combine that with the colors that the jockeys wear, and the speed, and the beautifully attractive race tracks, and the thrill of the competition, and the, what would you call it? The glamour, the show business aspect of it all. And some horses are champions, and others are aspiring champions. Oh, it's great fun. Now, I'm not recommending it. A person shouldn't gamble, I don't believe, according to the Bible, and it's a perfectly good way to be separated from your money, and gambling and vice go hand in hand. I'm not here to endorse that. I'm just telling you what I did. I was raised to gamble on horses. Just as a little kid, I would take the little money that I had, and my parents might permit me to wager on a horse at some stage. I don't know what they were thinking, but it's just kind of what we did. My older brothers never took to it like I did, but I was just besotted by horse races and loved horses. Now, there are several ways that you could bet. Now, if you were confident, I'm just telling you about a couple. If you were really confident your horse was going to win, then you would put money on that horse to win. And if it won, you made money. If it came second, you lost your money. You had to bet to win. Now, you could gamble that your horse would place first, second, or third. If there's 12 horses in the race, or 20 horses, 12, then you had a much better chance of your horse coming first, second, or third than it just winning, and anything can happen on a racetrack. Now, the payout for first, second, or third was smaller than the payout for winning. But, that's just how it went. So you could bet the horse to win, you could back the horse to place, or you could bet each way. Think about that. Betting each way, those way it would maybe cost you $2, $1 each way. $2 each way, that's a $4 investment. $5 each way, that's a $10 wager. If it wins, you get the win payout, and if it comes second or third, you get the place payout. But what does that say about you? I'll take $1 each way. It kind of became a parlance where I grew up for hedging your bets. Oh, I see, you're not really sure. You're kind of having $1 each way here. Right. Now, in gambling, it's not a bad strategy, because if you're not 100% confident that your horse is going to win, there's a fairer chance it'll place, and so you bet each way. You hedged your bets. But in Christianity, that's not the right thing to do. God doesn't ask us to hedge our bets, and I hope you don't mind me using that terminology. I'm just making a point. He doesn't ask us to hedge our bets when it comes to faith. He asks us to be all in. Is God God? Yes. So you trust Him. You throw your lot in with Him. Is God double-minded? No. So you can be certain in the Word of God. Is the Bible a book that fails or a book that succeeds? It's a book that is true. It's not a maybe. You can trust the Bible. And so I don't read the Bible, stroke my chin, lift my glasses, and say, I just wonder. There's a lot of that in the world, but you don't have to. You read the Bible, the prophecies have been fulfilled. You read the Bible, the historical data is accurate. You read the Bible, this Jesus is an actual historical figure who's mentioned in the historical record, not just the scriptural record, you understand. Do you have certainty in God today? Are you able to to go all in on God and be confident that God is who He says He is and will do what He says He will do. This is what sets Christians apart from, the timid, the doubters. There's that famous passage in the Bible where Thomas says, I'll believe it if I can see it. And he was not commended for that. There is a God. When you pray, believe He hears you. When you read the Bible, believe it's His word. When you read the Bible accounts, trust that what they say are actually true. I'll share with you a group of people who are trying to play it both ways in 1 Kings chapter 18. This is where the prophet Elijah gathered all the false prophets together. Up on Mount Carmel, people gathered around and they would have a test. They'd set up a sacrifice, the prophets of Baal and the prophet Elijah. The prophets of Baal would cry out to Baal, this is pagan god, and ask that deity to send fire from heaven and burn up the sacrifice. They cried and yelled and implored all day long, it seems. Nothing happened. Of course nothing happened. There's no Baal god. The prophet Elijah, he prayed to God. In fact, he went a step further, doused the sacrifice with water, which was quite the thing to do in a time of drought, absolutely soaked everything so nobody could say, oh, somehow he did this by trickery. And God sent fire from heaven and burned up the sacrifice, licked up the water, even burned up the stones that the altar was made out of. Over here, you had some doubters. Over here, you had some backsliders. Over here, you had some people, man, they weren't legit. They didn't trust God. They had $1 each way. But on the other hand, the prophet Elijah, the man of God who was certain. Let me read to you his challenge to the people that day. 1 Kings 18, verse 21. Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? This is the King James Version. How long are you going to flip-flop backwards and forwards between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow Him. But if Baal, then follow him. It says the people answered him not a word. Let me ask you a question. Who is God? Are you convinced that God is God? Then follow Him. You might be that person today starting your day and thinking to yourself, I'm not that certain. Or thinking, I should probably have more faith in God, but that one word is going to prove to be the undoing of many people. How about today you don't halt, limp, you don't flip-flop backwards and forwards between two opinions? What would your day look like if you walk out the door of your house or get out of your car and you say, I believe there's a God. I believe that the Bible is true. I trust that God is with me. I believe that He is leading me. Imagine approaching life with that kind of certainty. Not the teenage gambler saying, I don't really know what horse is going to do what today. Instead, you can say, there's a God. He's with me, not against me. He answers my prayers and He does what He says He will do. With faith like that, you can go ahead and have a great day today.